Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Jones and I welcome you all to Executive Corner Expert Talks. Today I'm with Mark Deuter. Mark is the CEO of Aerometrex. Now Aerometrex is a geospatial tech company focusing on providing data-driven insights for a range of business applications. Here at Kalkine, we bring you industry leaders, successful business owners, market and equity advocates all under one roof to help you discover the insights of the stock markets and help you understand how you can create multiple passive income streams. Hello Mark and welcome to Kalkine.
Good morning Rachel, how are you?
Now first up Mark, please could you just explain a little bit more about what Aerometrex does?
Yeah, sure. So as you said, Aerometrex is a geospatial technology company. We started life as a mapping and aerial imagery company, but we've diversified into a whole range of geospatial technologies now, including the creation of digital twins, which are like a virtual world, I guess a 3D world in which people are finding a lot of applications these days. We also do laser mapping from aeroplanes and the traditional range of aerial mapping activities.
Excellent. Now, I believe that you've signed a US 3D sale in the emerging Metaverse market. What can you tell me about this?
Yeah, sure. So it's we've embarked on a program of mapping the US cities in 3D, and we produced the city of San Francisco, the downtown areas, and the major tourist precincts that are adjacent. And we're finding that that's generated a whole lot of interest for some of the largest corporations in the US, as well as people that are smaller players that are creating metaverses, which are digital twins, sort of like a virtual world, a geospatial framework in which people can interact visually in their environment.
Now, do you believe the Metaverse sector is a new and fast emerging market for 3D model data?
It certainly seems to be that way. We've seen very large investments by some of the largest corporations in the States, and that includes the likes of Google and Facebook and Microsoft and so forth in 3D technology. They've spent billions of dollars in acquiring hardware and software. And what's interesting to us is that what seems to be lacking at the moment is 3D data content at the human scale, and that's what we're providing. So we're talking to some of the biggest corporations over in the States, and we see a vast amount of interest going on at the moment in Metaverse, including terrestrial software developments that we sold the San Francisco model to, a much smaller player, but yeah, certainly right up there in the leading edge with some of the bigger players.
Now, your Manhattan capture is underway. Please, can you give us some insights on the recent developments in that project?
Yeah, sure. So this is building on work that we did as far back as 2019. We already mapped the lower Manhattan district at a very high degree of resolution and accuracy. And that is actually one of the most difficult places in the world to map just because of the height of the skyscrapers. We're actually mapping that with helicopters. And as you can imagine, it's quite a challenging thing, taking lots and lots of photographs, 20,000 photographs or so from a helicopter to map, say, 5 square kilometres of terrain. So we're working our way through the rest of Manhattan now. So yeah, building on that already excellent product that we have generated.
And what can you tell me about the progress of photogrammetry and 3D modelling over the past few years? How have you seen it change and expand?
The advent of digital technology and vast amounts of computing power have just released a whole lot of mapping technologies from the restraints of scale. It's amazing now. We can go from a view of the world from outer space, you know, the globe, and zoom right down to a city, right down to a street, right down to a restaurant window, look inside the window and read a menu. It is phenomenal. Mapping up till now has always been very constrained by the idea of being able to portray a certain amount of information on a page or a printed map or whatever. But now it seems that there is no limit. We can do amazing things with 3D digital technology and create an environment that is virtually the same as being there. We our San Francisco model, I've been to San Francisco several times, and just walking around that digital model generates floods of memories of places that I've been and things that I've seen. They're residing in the back of my mind, in the back of my brain. But it's amazing how that actually being in that digital environment stimulates that flow of consciousness again.
And you have some major engineering firms working with Aerometrex. What are your plans for the future?
There are two, many, I suppose, applications. I guess communication, visualization, but also measurement. And our engineering clients are finding that the 3D models that we produce are providing them with exactly what they need to relate all their other data sets to. So it becomes the geospatial framework that they use to validate all their other data, make sure it's in the right place, prevent accidents or mistakes happening during the construction process. So we see a very wide application for that. Already in Australia, we've seen a very enthusiastic uptake by the engineers here, early adopters of the technology, and we expect to see that replicated worldwide.
Well, it's been fabulous chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Rachel. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to meet you too. Thanks for the chat. It's fascinating. Now, with that, I will sign off for today, but watch this space for more. Till then, stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.